The first 3 Israeli hostages released from Gaza have been handed over and crossed into Israel in the first test of a fragile ceasefire between Israel and Hamas. According to Assosicted Press, images released by Israel's military showed them getting out of a Red Cross vehicle and being greeted by Israeli military personnel. The 3 hostages are Romi Gonen, 24, kidnapped from the Nova Music Festival, Emily Damari, 28, and Doron Steinbrecher, 31, kidnapped from Kibbutz Kfar Aza. They were taken for medical assessment. Later on Sunday, Israel is expected to release around 90 Palestinian prisoners. A gradual release of 33 captives over the next 6 weeks has been agreed on. In exchange, Israel will release almost 2,000 Palestinian prisoners and Palestinians from Gaza who have been detained. The truce, which started at 11:15 a.m. local time, is the first step toward ultimately ending the conflict and returning hostages abducted in Hamas' October 7, 2023 attack. The ceasefire ushers in an initial 6 weeks of calm and raises hopes for the release of nearly 100 remaining hostages and an end to the devastating 15-month war. A last-minute delay by Hamas put off the truce's start by nearly 3 hours, but the spokesman for Hamas military wing later said it is committed to the ceasefire. Crowds of people gathered around vehicles carrying 3 hostages as they were released by Hamas as part of a ceasefire agreement with Israel on Sunday. According to Assosicted Press, the first 3 hostages were transferred to the Red Cross before being handed over to Israeli forces. The convoy carrying the hostages moved through Gaza City, surrounded by a huge crowd, with many people holding up phones and filming. The vehicles were accompanied by armed men who wore green Hamas headbands and struggled to guard the cars from an unruly crowd that swelled into the thousands. The release of the first 3 hostages is expected to be followed by the release from Israel of 90 Palestinian prisoners as part of the first stage of the ceasefire deal. The Hamas-led October 7, 2023, attack on southern Israel killed some 1,200 people and left some 250 others captive. Nearly 100 hostages remain in Gaza. Israel responded with an offensive that has killed more than 46,000 Palestinians, according to local health officials, who do not distinguish between civilians and militants but say women and children make up more than half the dead. The ceasefire, which went into force at 11:15 a.m. local time, 9:15 GMT, after an almost 3-hour delay, was brokered by mediators the United States, Qatar and Egypt in months of indirect talks between the warring sides.
إذا ما كانش موصل معانا